Monster Energy off-road team taking on King of the Hammers, presented by Fox Racing Shocks, premieres Tuesday, May 26th, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
Grit beats talent every single time. Introducing the new BF Goodrich all-terrain KO3 tire. Legendary toughness made tougher. BF Goodrich, what are you building for?
Woohoo! What I'm building for is some craziness. How you got me there, everybody? Welcome to Fishgistics. This is Cameron Steele, the super donkey here, and I'm joining my good friend Fish. What'd you say? You talking crap already?
You're the head donkey. I gave you a compliment. You're the top one.
Thank you so much. That's so very kind of you.
Yeah.
I wanted to say everybody welcome and hi. Super excited to be coming up on the Score Baja 500, one of the traditional races that we spend a lot of time doing every year. And of course, it's been around for seemingly forever. And I know Score is marching towards 60 years of the Baja 1000. It's pretty incredible that what we've all been able to do and share. And we have a great crew of people here today as well. Fish.
We have two of you. How did we get two of you in here?
Are we both in there?
Yeah. One of you's plenty.
I think one's enough for sure.
Oh boy, now he's got two computers going. Look at this guy.
No, I turned one off.
You have
How
an
about that?
echo. There you go.
Yeah, we had to switch over Wi-Fi systems, and for some reason one of my computers isn't digging it. But I'm stoked to be here on Fishgistics. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope you can't hear Fish because he's nothing but trouble every single time. We got some heavy hitters here today, and we'll welcome them shortly. But first of all, I want to say, of course, this is all opinion-based. This is my disclaimer. We'll give you as much good information as we can, but you always got to go out and search out your own, do your own pre-running, and of course, figure out your own facts. But we have a massive crew of hitters in the house, as I was saying. Of course, Fish, who is Fishgistics. We call him Fish instead of Austin because Austin just seems weird to call him. He loves fishing and he loves going out on boats. I can't figure out any of that, but we still love you, buddy.
Good to be here. Good to be here once again.
Good to be here at your own show. Of course, the Kingpin from BF Goodrich Tires. Nate Hunt is here. Stoked to have Nate. Welcome to the circus, Nate.
Hi, Cam, Fish,
Hi, buddy.
everybody else.
Nate, of course.
Calm and mellow.
He's very mellow. It's later. Are you on the East Coast, right, Nate?
I am on the East Coast.
Right on. So I know it's a little later for you. It might be 9 o'clock. Hopefully you can stay up past your bedtime.
Yeah, well, I gotta keep tabs on the playoff game tonight because Jeff Cummings was giving me crap for having the show during the first Western Conference Finals.
That's of course Jeff Cummings would do that, a legend from the BF Goodrich family. It's good to have him hopefully tuned in instead of watching the game. I want to welcome Roto from Score. Of course, he and you have been doing all the course marking along with Jose G. Roto, welcome to the show. You're still muted. Now you're not, but stoked to have you here for the whole show. I don't know if we've got to have you for the whole show before.
Very honored to be on the show. This is my first time on the show. I mean, like you said, I've been with Nate in the past 7 years mapping the courses, so I'm happy to kind of share a little bit of information. Thank you.
Well, I'm looking forward to spending some time with you, Roto, because honestly, Jose G, I don't think really likes me, so we've been butting heads a little bit, but I'm going to miss him just a little bit today, but I'm stoked to have you. And of course, a longtime Baja expert, so to speak. He used to work with Nate on the course marking. He's my navigator for the last 20 years. Cody Stewart, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see about that in a few minutes. And of course, we're going to be talking Baja 500, again, a legendary race, something that we all are so excited about. The recent course release via map was a blow up moment for a lot of people to see that. It's pretty wild. We'll be talking about that shortly, but the summit and the Pino summit, both on the race course. I don't know how many times that's happened, if at all. I think it's happened once, but can't be sure. But before we talk about the race course, before we talk about safety, before we talk about logistics and courses. Let's talk about the key to safety, which is communications. And we have none other than Off-Road Hall of Famer Scott Steinberger here with us, also known as the Weatherman. He owns PCI Race Radios, and he and his family, including his dad, the original Weatherman, have been doing communications for, with, and around SCORE for, I want to say, 48-ish years. I don't know how many years. You help me with that, Scott.
Yeah, close to 50 years.
So welcome to the show, Scott. For those of you that don't know, Scott cut his teeth in the limited classes and moved on to the number 7 trophy truck for quite some time. So he's been a part of the circus on the race course and as safety and weatherman. So we're stoked to have you here, Scott. I know you have a number of topics you're going to cover for us. So let's get it started with that so we can hear, well, everybody's paying close attention. Remember, everybody can send your comments, questions on the show Facebook link, or you can send them directly to Fish if you have a cell phone number. I might even give it out if you want. You can text me, Cody, Nate, Roto, Scott, whatever. But first, before we get started with anything else, we're going to get started with Scott giving us a rundown of how we communicate now. Traditionally, the weatherman was on top of a mountain doing radio relay. That is all changing, and we wanted to have Scott here to fill us in on how that's all going to work. So, Scott, take it away, buddy.
All right. So for the past close to 50 years, probably 50 years, we've been on top of the mountain, either my dad or myself, helping you guys get from the start to the finish safely, and helping you out, especially when there's problems. And that is changing a little bit because VHF limitations, and now with Starlink and LTE getting better and better in Baja. And everybody should have a Starlink, especially your team communicator. For this race, we're going to do it all off of the phones and a call-in number. The call-in number Fish is going to put on the screen is 562-279-0700. If you guys can put this in your phones and store it, so when you get a weird call on race day, you don't know it's the weatherman and SCORE Relay calling you to help you get to the finish line or help you get your loved ones safe and sound and back to racing. So make sure you save the number, and that brings up in SCORE, they're going to have a communication sheet that you guys always fill out. I would say always, but only about 50% of you fill it out. And especially the bike guys are terrible about filling it out. This communication sheet goes straight to the weatherman. I don't sell your information or use it for anything other than helping you guys out on race day. And I need good information. So make sure you fill out those sheets. That's me getting a hold of the right person if there's an emergency during the race. And the right person isn't your wife. It's your race communicator who's on track there to help you and knows what's going on. I'm also working on a second way to help you, an app. The app is called AdventShare. We'll be doing a soft launch on the 29th of this month, and we will be doing some beta testing of a Weatherman Global channel, an IP channel on race day. So you guys can download VentShare now, and it's also going to help with communicating and tracking your assets in Baja. Last thing I want everybody to remember about this course is that it is a very tough course. Cameron mentioned both the summits, and in a course like this, you need to be Baja savvy. And you need to realize in some remote sections that it could be hours, not minutes, hours before you get help, especially at night, which reminds me of a good thing to read from Bob Bauer, What About You? It's a good thing if you haven't raced Bob before to look it up and read it. Bob Bauer, What About You? I'd also like to give a special thanks to Nate and the BFG crew who do the best job on the maps and course access and cheat sheet on how to get in everywhere. It's a neat thing to have if you run BFG tires, which I always recommend. And it helps me get you guys the information you need on race day. And, be safe and call me, text me, and we're there to help you on race day. We will not be on the Weatherman channel on VHF. So that's going to be a little different this race. And I'm kind of feeling a little regret right now, but at the same time, I love technology.
Little bit of anxiety letting that baby go, huh, Scott? Tradition is hard to break, and here we are competing in tradition when we're talking about the SCORE Baja 500. And I know your family's been a huge part of this. It's pretty efficient though, right? I mean, the communications are easier for you to track through the new system and follow along and get information back to people, correct?
Yeah, it's way easier. There's no stuck mics now. You're gonna be calling on a phone or on an app eventually, and on that app I can turn people off if they're not being good. No more Richard Craniums, as my dad would say.
That takes away some of the fun, though. That was always fun hearing you yell at everybody and calling them Richard Cranium and stuff.
There's still enough dipshits in Baja to have some fun.
You guys might not be able to see me, but I'm pointing to where Fish is on my screen. When Scott said dipshits, I knew he was directly identifying with that guy Fish. I don't know how he plays out on your screen, but all in good fun, Scott. Thank you for your passion and for your effort. So does that mean no more San Pedro Martir climbing to the top of the mountain in 60-mile-an-hour gusts, putting the antenna up?
That's what that means, and we'll see if I have enough regrets to go back up there. I have some business I have to tend to up there, but nope, my antenna got twisted and wadded at the 1000, and I retired going up on top of the mountain. So we're going to use technology and move forward and improve with the new improved weatherman.
Copy. Well, I'm not talking crap, but I'm just saying that's how you ended your trophy truck career too, if I'm not mistaken. With some twisted up metal.
Oh
Hey.
man.
I always
I remember that as the economy in 2008, but yeah, there was some twisted up metal that year for sure.
Cody and I keep that marked on our GPS anytime we go through there. All your marks when you first did that, we took your marks and embedded them into our courses, so that is always there forever with us, whether we're on trail missions, Rip to Cabo, something else, racing, whatever, because we're always thinking about you right there. We had an accident there also on a motorcycle one day.
Every time I go through there, I can still find a little piece of memorabilia from my truck if you look hard enough.
For those of you that don't know, Scott, of course, used to lay out a lot of GPS routes, and he would mark them. And outside of LA Bay, there's a couple really tricky spots. Got caught out, and so the next time we raced through there, he had all these markers and skulls around it. It said number 7 crash site. Right? That's what.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, we're glad you're still going to be out there helping everybody, Scott. You guys have been helping everybody forever, and with everything changes with technology, and I think it's going to be for the better, and it'll be fine. Everybody has a Starlink. Everyone has communications now, so I think you'll be totally fine doing it that way. Honestly.
Cool deal.
Yeah. Well, you think so, but some of us like Scott and I might miss those days where we didn't even have a radio that worked. There were no such thing as sat phones. The internet didn't exist yet. And we actually carried longer radio antennas inside of our race cars, zip tied to the roll cage. So if we needed comms and we were broken down, we could put a longer antenna on the car to try to get those comms.
So, hey, the first time I met Cameron, it was before we had GPS. And he jumped in my pre-runner and we were checking out the course. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, why are you not going straight across this field right here? And I'm like, what do you mean going straight across the field? He goes, that's not the course. He goes, well, that's what I interpret the course is, and that's the fastest way. So let's go. And we cut straight across. And Cameron basically told me how to, make a shortcut and cut a line. Now, unfortunately, VCPs have changed the way we race, but we used to race where you had to do your homework and there was no VCPs, and those were some fun days.
I don't know what he's talking about, honestly.
Yeah, we better move on before you get yourself in trouble there, Cameron, and get DQ'd before the race starts.
Now we know why. Now we know why VCPs exist.
Yeah.
I'm taking note.
Wait, Roto, did you hear all that? Yeah. This guy.
The
VCP exists.
The conversation is about a tiny little corner cut somewhere. It's not what some of the people are inspired by. But thank you, Scott, for that little bit of kudos. Fun. We had a lot of fun pre-running over the years. I'm looking forward to more of that real soon. And speaking of pre-running, before we get to the course, Fish is going to talk about FMMs.
Yeah, I've had a lot of racers reaching out. They've been asking for these more recently in Mexico. You're supposed to have one always, but your FMM, everybody's always reaching out asking, how do I get one? Where do you get one? So luckily, Baja Bound, our friends over at Baja Bound Mexican Insurance, they put together a little thing here. I'll show you guys. It's on their website. If you go to their website, it literally walks you through as easy as it can be. Go to their bajabound.com. You can find this guide to get your tourist card. It'll walk you through exactly how to do it. If you're only going for 7 days or less, it's free. So you don't have an excuse not to get it. It doesn't even cost you any money. If you want to be smart, if you notice, you can pay for 180 days. Check your calendar. That'll get you through the Baja 400, so then you don't have to do this again. So if you want to pay $55, you can do it now, and it'll get you through the Baja 400, sorry, and it'll still be included. Or you can do it for free both times. But just go to their website, check this out. It makes it super simple. It literally walks you through every single step, tells you how to go across the border, where to do it, where to get it at, how to pay, everything. So thanks to the guys at Baja Bound. Get your FMMs. If you guys go down there and you get pulled over, they might hassle you for it. They might not. So I always say it's better to be safe than sorry in Mexico, and not have to deal with anything that you can easily get before you go down. So that's my FMM thing for everybody.
Right
Yeah,
on. Well,
and on that note too, like especially in San Ysidro, they now have a scanner for your passport. So you walk in there, you hand them your passport, they scan it, it enters all the information into the piece of paper, and they stamp it, hand it to you, and you're done. Super, super easy.
Perfect.
unless you're paying for the 180 days, then you got to
Unless you're
pay
doing
at the
that, then
bank.
you got to go to the bank.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say it's pretty easy just to pull over to the side at San Ysidro to the right side there, and that's where you access the FMM office. Walk inside. True story. Cody and I were together, and we stopped at the FMM and the declare line. And as soon as we got back in the truck and started driving through, the first aduana guard, the first guard from the Mexican government, stopped us and asked us for the FMM. I was like, we were just in the line for the FMM. I mean, it seemed kind of silly, but it was funny to see someone check it right at the border. But yeah, I think it's a legal document for you guys to be in Mexico. It doesn't take a super long time to do, and I suggest doing it. We do it for all of our trips as well every time we go racing. So just get out there and do it. Tourist card, be legit, and stay on point. Now let's talk race course. Anybody want to talk about the Baja 500?
Let's do it. Yeah.
So Jose G's not here to give a hard time to at all. So we'll give a hard time to Roto and Nate. You guys coming up with creative courses. I know some of the stuff we've done, and obviously most all the stuff we've done, but there's some good combinations and some different stuff. Looking forward to sharing it with everybody. Again, everybody pay attention. This course that we're going to look at, it looks like are you going to start at the very start, Fish?
Yeah, we're in town. Yep.
Okay. There are stop signs for pre-running. Make sure you guys are paying attention. There's a lot of dangerous intersections all over the peninsula. It's not worth rushing through them. Let's just slow down, look around. We're not in a hurry. We're not pre-racing. We're pre-running or pre-funning, as we like to call it.
And just remember on this start section here, Roto, when are we allowed to pre-run the start section? Because this is limited through here. I think you're muted, Roto.
Yeah, actually, the outbound section will be released on Thursday, the whole GPS file, outbound and inbound, where that way you can figure out how to do it. They will be only allowed to do it on Friday. So that's the main information. Of course, as always, we'll start the pre-running in Ojos Negros, down in Rancho El Mezcal. But the good news about this course is we start in the wash, as always, as the last Baja 1000. So that's a good thing. We start in the race, actually in the ramp in front of Riviera. And at the end of the watch, we start the speed zone. So from there all the way to Rancho El Tule, that will be 37 miles per hour speed zone. And there the race continue all the way to Ojos and then El Mezcal, where we have marked the beginning of the pre-running course for this Baja 500.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, I just
Okay,
wanted to
so-
show everybody the start there to show we were doing the wash. Once again, we'll show you where you're starting your pre-run right now, and we'll go from there in more detail.
So pre-run's going to start outside of Ensenada. You're going to access that by coming through the traditional route through the farms in Ojos. Correct, Roto? That's how you want everybody to get there?
Yeah, as always, we can remind you that that's access. You please don't start to kind of race in that section. Actually, the whole course is pre-run, not the practice section. That way, you don't gonna expose the locals because there's the access to get to the ranchers right now is cattle season, so everybody's gonna getting the cattle together to market, to separate it, the big ones for the small ones. So be aware that you will find a lot of cattle along the course.
For sure, that access into there can be very busy. So you guys be careful anywhere you're next to the road, anywhere in this area. I mean, we've been racing down here for 50 years plus, and this is some newer routing over these last decade, but Score has certainly made it fun to get in here and run. So you start the pre-run and you head down through this first rancho here and into this section, which I would still call the section kind of towards Tres Hermanos, but we're going to head out to the west coast. As you guys that have seen the map know, we're going to race through all these smaller hills, smaller mountain sections. There's a lot of good adventure in here, Cody. You love navigating through here, don't you?
He's muted.
For sure. It is really dusty through there. Lots of silt. And if you're stuck behind some cars, you'll be going a little slower through there. So just be careful of all the dust for sure.
For sure, and watch out for spectators and ranchos and families and livestock and all the other things that can happen along the way. The race course is going to take off and start heading towards the Pacific side. Coming out, you can see the stop sign here where you're merging and coming across these different roads. Anytime there's a merge, whether there's a stop sign or not, we stop, we look left and right. We want to make sure we're being safe, be smart. There's a number of VCPs through here. There's many different routes that we've used over the years. Down here as we get through race mile VCP 45, I should say, Nate, this is a more of a newer section where we have those so-called rollers going along the base of that mountain there.
Yeah, not fun if you get going too fast, I guess. For my
That's
speed,
for
it was
sure.
fine. I enjoy it in the Raptor going a mild speed, but yeah, it's definitely an area that you got to be careful in if you're going too fast.
It's definitely full of no rhythm. None of it seems to work together, but there are some big rolling hills in there. Of course, there's dangers all over the race course. You guys need to find those during your pre-running. This section has some big ones. Then it turns back around, it heads back north, still going to the west as we head towards this rancho here. Roto, this is an area just before the rancho that gets a little bit silty. The red dirt the dust can hang in there. It's pretty cool that the ranchos have let us race back through there.
Yeah, actually, yes, that's what we did because the past races we found out that was not fun for everybody. We can go to BCP 50 to 52. That's the new section, the new bypass. That way we're avoiding to do that southern loop, which is nothing but silt. And going steep is kind of hard for everybody, especially for the smaller classes.
Hey, I got to tell you, getting there in the trophy truck in the first, 10 or 12 vehicles, you're still thinking about it for the few miles leading up to it because that can be a dodgy silt hill. So something different that you've done. Is this the first time you've gone out and around there, Roto?
Well, yeah, in my 7 years in the score, yes, this is the first time. But in the past, used to be part of the course. I mean,
Right.
like,
Right. So different section here, you guys pay attention. This takes you down into the canyon where you weave through these groves of trees. It's absolutely beautiful, but so sketchy racing past these trees. Fish, I'm sure you've been down there a number of times. It's pretty, it's shaded. The light comes shining through, kind of like I got going on right here with my screen with the sun coming in on me. It's like the trees flying by. It's kind of sketch. There's some really narrow ones, especially when you're driving trophy trucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot easier in the narrower vehicles like UTVs or whatever going through here. The trophy trucks, I go through some of that stuff sometimes. I'm like, how is the trophy truck gonna go through here? Just knowing how wide it is. And then when you go through there on race day, if you're in the trophy truck, it seems better because you're in like race mode and it seems like it always fits. But there is some real narrow sections in there, like you said. And if you get off and clip a tree, you're gonna end your day in within 60 miles of the start of the race.
For sure. And those trees are not going to move, just so you guys know. You got to be really careful in there. I don't want you guys to tell Cody, but I just close my eyes when we go through there usually.
It's like the what's the ride at Disneyland where it has the Autobahn where you just let go and it just takes you through it, right?
Come on, Fish. You got a little kid. It's Autotopia. Get it together.
Autotopia, Autobahn, same thing.
Not the same thing.
The Autobahn maybe is a little faster.
Now you're gonna head up into the mountains here. There's some side hilling, there's some exposure, there's some dangerous stuff. Roto, this is or Nate, I should say, this is some stuff we've been traditionally using more as of late, over the last decade or 15 years. Any big surprises in here?
No, actually, it's in really good shape right now. Well, as far as I know, there, unless there's been rain since we drove through there, it's actually in really good shape.
Nice. That's going to bring you into some of these hills here, which I saw today on the Score International social channels that Wes Miller has been out creating videos about different sections. So if you want to log on there, that he can show you some of the actual visuals of the course, number of ECPs, number of different marks you have to hit. I don't know if we've had any of the shorter VCPs, but Roto, let's talk about it. VCPs numbered, which we can see here at the top at VCP 63. What's the distance for those?
Yes, Cameron, we have two types of BCPs. BCP numbered, which the ones that we see on the screen, those are 120 feet radius. And the letter ones that are smaller, that are 40 feet radius. And the last Baja 1000, we use special ones that are not using this time for the protected area that was 20 feet radius.
Yeah, and just note also, whenever I like to mention this, anytime we see a danger on the score file, they don't mark very many dangers on here. So when you are using the first pre-run file and you see a danger, it is usually something very big, right, Nate?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
quite
that's
underspoken.
We need to
Yeah.
get Nate some coffee over there or something. He's like asleep already.
Well, I was trying to think how to answer that because it's difficult to mark dangers on a course with all the different type of vehicles that race and score. So if we marked every danger for the smaller classes, there'd be dangers all over the course. So we try to mark the ones that are going to be a for sure better woe up for anybody that's driving.
That's going to bring you into one of our favorite spots in Baja. Of course, this is Arapan or Europan. And for those of you that don't know, there's a great little market here and store and tacos and breakfast and lunch. And you know what? Just some of the nicest people on earth. This is Juan's place at Acambaro. And, if you need anything, you can walk in there and ask Juan and he'll figure it out for you. How about that? And you can get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all some supplies, ice, all that good stuff. I don't like telling you all that because I like keeping it a secret, but Juan is the best unkept secret in Baja. That's going to put you on the highway and speed zone. Cool your jets a little bit. This is Highway 1. For those of you that have never driven to Cabo, this is actually the Trans-Peninsula Highway. Takes you down to the bottom of the peninsula. You're going to come into Santa Tomas, which of course was a mission site. There are a couple stones left, but not much to see there. Right turn off the highway coming out of the speed zone. If I'm not mistaken, there's still speed zone as you make the turn.
Yeah, it's slower. It's a 37 here.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Lowers to 37. Caution, there's a wall right on the outside of the turn there, so don't donkey that. Don't come in sliding and be really careful there. That's a newer wall. This is actually all paved now, right, Cody?
Yep, for sure. It's paved all the way to that hard right there before you start going up the hill.
And there's always people here at this intersection. Of course, everywhere. The better the road, the more chances there's going to be people and cars, but expect the unexpected everywhere because I got to tell you, the locals do not make roads to nowhere. Note. And this road we're about to get on right here, leaving Santa Tomas and heading out towards the coast. My over-under on this road, I like to say, is 7. You're going to see more or less 7 vehicles on this. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you see more. Inevitably, they're going to be right around a corner where you don't expect them. So like I said, when you least expect it, expect it. I think that's a DRI song, by the way. This is a big graded road. There are big ranches, houses, surf spots, all kinds of stuff at the end of this road. So especially when you're pre-running, take it cool. When you're racing, remember, you're not just on a race course, you're on someone's driveway. That
Yeah.
makes sense, Nate. We're gonna have to get Nate fixed around here, Nate. Fish. What are we gonna do with him?
I don't know. He's muted. He's sleeping.
Was
He
there a
must-
question? I didn't hear it.
That's okay. We don't need you. Cody, what did you do
All
with
right.
him when you guys used to work together? Holy cow.
Nate provided us with this cool file though, because see the blue line here, for those of you that are new, maybe haven't watched the show. When you see the blue lines here, these are access roads that Nate and the BFG crew go down there and they mark ahead of time. So if you're a BFG racer, you can get this file and you can have all the access roads. So you can see off of Highway 1. Highway 1 at kilometer 75 is where you turn in to use this access road if you need to get up to here on the course. So whenever we're doing this and you see blue, that's what that is. There we go.
That's a great explanation, Fish. I can't believe how good you are when you really try. It's amazing. This down here, VCP 65, or well, 65 Dave Mason's number. So turn left here. This is a hard one. If
Hey,
you
you're
go
coming
straight,
fast into that too, right?
you're coming pretty quick. You want to check up for this one. There is a fence on the outside, or at least there used to be. If you went straight, that would take you to surf spots and the lighthouse out there. This little section gets tricky. It's tight. It gets more rocky. Gets you along the side of the coast. Your first glimpse of the ocean. And one of the most frequently missed corners, FMCs, is what I call it. There's a left turn in here that looks like it goes straight, but it does not. It goes left. Cody, can you say where that is right there?
It's kind of right in the middle there, but
Yeah.
yeah, you'll be going probably 60, 70 miles an hour, and it looks like the road goes straight, but it drops down to the left. And if you go straight, I've seen people go straight on bikes and cars, and it can end up bad day.
For sure. There is a junction there. I don't think that's the one we're talking about, but just beware, everybody. There's a drop away left turn. There's lots of drop away left turns. There's lots of turns that are going to be dangerous, but this is one of those turns that really sticks out in my mind not to miss. Right, Cody?
That was it right there.
Where?
Up
This
a
Yeah,
little
it's on
bit,
the top, that
right at the
building over
junction.
there. It's a dike in the bottom of it.
Oh, that's the
That's not it.
dike.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's the
dike.
dike one. Yep.
It's further back, but
Yeah, back
just
a
so you
little
guys
bit.
know, somewhere from where you leave that big road and you get on along that mountain, there is a really nasty left turn that will surprise you. This is coming down the hill, rocky downhill, brings you to Calavera. You can see the course going back down on the road. You can actually see a marker there. It says La Calavera. This is where you traditionally get on the coast. Don't look at the surf, look at the race course. I've done the opposite. That's going to race you down into this section, getting close to, there's some, they call it, some call it Long Beach, some call it Long Sand. I don't know. Do you have a name for it, Roto, this longer sand beach here? Muted,
Pardon me. It's Punta Cabras
right?
section. So the town a little bit south is Punta Cabras. So that long beach section is the Cabras Cove.
And here we come on one of those shorter VCPs. Again, VCP H here. What is the tolerance of that, Roto? One more time.
Yeah, those are 40 feet radius. This section changed a little bit versus the last year is by the owner request. So it's not kind of the same as always, but it's still just you need to follow only the course and you'll be good.
You'll be good. Make sure you hit the VCPs. That's going to take you along this long sand dune here. We call it Mini Dakar for some reason. I can't remember why. Tim Morton name, I think.
So right here, obviously they put the VCP here. They do not want you on this southern road. That's why that is a lettered one, correct, Roto?
Yeah, that's correct. The owner of the ranch that is a little bit north, Rancho Aldana, just put a new fence in that section. So he requests to kind of change the course to that line.
Okay.
That's going to bring you down. This is the little area, Cabra, so to speak, housing community. Nice and slow pre-running, of course, folks. Dropping down the hill into where there's some homes. Get you along the coast. Some of the most beautiful footage you've ever seen in Baja racing is happening right here as you start entering Arendida. Speed zone's going to start. Roto, now the speed zone, it's like a giant VCP, right? You can't deviate, you can't speed.
That's correct, Himaran. All the speed zones are also BCPs. I mean, you cannot miss the beginning or the end of the speed zone because you will get penalized.
Copy. Right here, if you guys haven't been there, cool little hostel there, Coyote Cows. They have a cool mural on their wall. At least they did last time I was there. Again, this is all town. This is all speed zone, speed limit. Take it easy. Don't get crazy. Even in the speed zone pre-running, there is a school there where the kids cross in the middle of that. So be real careful. This is going to be turn off. This is something that's a real treat for those that don't get to race this all the time. This is going to head out back to the beach rocks, as it's called. And we've all seen it and heard it. It's pretty surreal when you're going through it. Roto, how do you decide when and if you're going to go through the beach rocks? Like, because different races, you guys do different stuff, but it's been cool to get back in there more often.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, most of the section are decided by the owners, the land owners. Sometimes they want you to go to in the middle of the town. Sometimes they want you to go to the beach rocks. And as we know, the owners of this land determine where we're going to the rocks, to town, to the fence, to whatever. So thanks to these guys, we are allowed to race in Baja.
Yeah, we had an early stoppage one race. We had a rock jump up and rip off a brake line, right, Cody, in there? Anyway,
Yep,
we
right about there.
But yeah, right about there. Arr. That's going to bring you down towards the Arandia Wash. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of people here. Lots of people. So you see these big graded road crossing here where the stop sign is on pre-running. You guys, is now Roto, is that a stop sign during race or only for pre-run?
Only for pre-run, because most of the accidents happen during the pre-run, because as we know, this little thing had activity. Some are feature cams, some they are having some growing up, some vegetables, whatever. So they're still moving around. So they are not aware that we haven't raised. So be careful, stop in those stop signs and be kind.
And that's going to get you through Arendida. We'll be in the wash here for a little bit more of extended period, it looks like to me. Wrote a little different section here you guys have delivered us.
Yes, that's a new section. Thanks to Hector Sarabia to get a little bit more miles towards San Vicente. So at the end of this one, at the end of the watch, we have a little speed zone. And yes, a new section just for a couple miles, but still fun and technical.
It's always fun to do something different. Nate, you always love getting out on the different stuff, right?
Yeah, it's fun and technical when we do it. When we go back after the race, it's not so technical anymore. Some of you guys like to straighten those lines out a little bit.
Interesting.
We heard about that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he doesn't say much, but then he starts throwing daggers out. Now that's going to be a VCP 79 left turn 80. That's going to take us out the back around this mountain. Can we see a wider shot, Fish, of where we're going? Yep. And you can see there the VCPs get you into all the sections. Race mile 125. This is going to get you in the back of San Vicente, out by some of the farms. Once again, everywhere you go, there's people, and just be aware here in the farms, especially.
Lots of access roads, as you can see. So when there's lots of access roads, there's usually lots of people.
Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, Cody, this blue line is the traditional road that comes out there, the Cerro Sola Road, and we're going to be racing out in the back canyon and up the side of the hill.
Yep. It comes out that K96 is the Rancho Santa Marta access road where the orphanage is there by the highway, and comes out to the race course there.
And yeah, so anyway, this is a tighter, that's Rancho Santa Marta over there. This is the orphanage that many of the racers support. If you guys would like to make a donation, ranchosantamarta.org. They have 41 orphans there full time and 250 kids a day bust in. So please give. We're coming up on our Baja Beach Bash trip, which is a fundraiser for them. Please get involved. We would love that. ranchosantamarta.org. This is a tough section right here. This canyon, we used to call it Mary Jane Canyon. race through there. Now it's a graded road or two track, not graded road, right, Nate? It's like kind of like a sketchy little two track. It's like open, then it's tight, then it gets tighter, then it throws you up on the side of the road hill where there's a little bit of grading. Still the same like that?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely not graded. I wouldn't call it.
Yeah, not graded.
Feel,
Sorry.
feels really weird. Kind of off camera, like ready to slide down the hill, but super pretty area. I love doing it.
No matter where you are on this section, once you start going down that canyon, it feels like you're going to slide into, when you're down low, feels like you're going to slide into a giant boulder because there are giant boulders on both sides, every side of the race course. Then you get up on the hill, it feels like you're going to slide off the hill.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a long way down.
It is a long way down. Do not mess around. Getting
Yeah,
back
you
down.
could look at the elevation. I mean, it says 1,000 feet. If you look at the bottom of the screen there, that's 1,000 feet right there, and we're right next to the ocean. So
It's I would say don't look at the view while you're on the race course. It's technical and tight. This section here runs along the farms. You can see the VCPs that have been put in there. Make sure you guys honor where the ranchos want us to be. Races us down into some of the, what I would call kind of the top of the mesa. This is by the kayak. There used to be a kayak cemented in right here at VCP 100. I don't know if it's there anymore. There can be gates and fences in here, you guys, so be wary. Anytime you come to a gate or a fence, make sure you guys close it. There's a lot of livestock right here in this area, horses, cows, goats. Just be really respectful at all times. Just beware of what your surroundings are. People live everywhere around this race course, and that's going to take you up onto this top part as we race back down. Kind of towards that traditional coast section, but we'll turn around and come back up again. Not really racing along the coast, but you can see that the access roads the BFG has laid in there for everybody to see. This is the traditional, what I would call the four-way intersection where we cross. Is that right, Nate?
Yep.
So there's a couple different ways across there. You guys just heads up. The big road, traffic can be coming through there. Be smart. Watch for people that are looking for the race course actually to support. And Cody, there's some coastal agaves out here in this next section, huh?
Yeah, there's a few and a bunch of rocks as well. So just watch out for the cactus and the rocks with your tires.
We used to call this section on the motos coming back up off the coast flat tire alley because there's just a ton of embedded rocks in there. It's not a real fast section, but can be a little bit tricky. Then we get down and start moving back down the coast again, and we probably should pick it up. But you can see again waypoints with the letters. Really trying to make sure you stay on the course and off that big road over there. I'm sure Jose G will be giving us red lines also, places to watch. This is interesting, Nate and Roto. You guys took us out on Punta Colonet, a little further out there.
Yeah, we did. I'll let Roto probably knows why we did.
Yeah, it's a new section. As I mentioned, sometimes we are shortening the course because we are not allowed to go through. But this time, Hector Sarabia, the guy who gets the permit for the landowners, help us out to lay out this wonderful section from Rancho Johnson all the way to Punta Colonet. Is fast, is fun, sandy, twisty, and very technical. So I bet that everybody will enjoy that one. So yeah, this is a totally new one for Score, and you end up in Colonet Wash, actually San Rafael Wash.
Yeah,
And you
something different.
And you can see a lot of VCPs in that area too. So
yeah.
there's a reason for those, as always.
Yeah, so if you guys like having new sections of the course, try not to abuse it, please, and stay as close to the course as you can.
For sure. There's definitely some ill-placed rocks out there. And thank you to Score, Roto, Jose G, Hector, everybody involved with plotting out the courses and getting us on some new and different stuff. It's really cool to see. And that's going to bring us back. We're going to go back down just a second there, Fish. We're crossing the highway.
Yep.
Does it get on the highway there, Roto, for a minute? Yep.
Yeah, there's a new section in San Telmo. Is part of Punta Colonet. we're going back in those mountains and come back towards the watch and then going to the highway. That section, again, the first miles is super fast. And just be aware we have a bunch of PCPs. There's a reason. Of course, we're going into a ranch. There's cattle, horses, so be aware.
That's going to take us up into some of the foothills or mountains closer to the coast. Definitely some interesting terrain up here if you haven't been up here. Some tricky stuff too, Nate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some rocks, some flat potential, I should say.
Copy. You guys just pay attention to what you're doing. Try to get your markings on your GPS or however you do your notes. Just make sure that you guys are laying it out so you can race accordingly. But remember, pre-run at pace, and that's going to bring us back to the highway number 1. Very interesting routing. It's been fun to watch. See here with the first time on the GPS plot, and that's going to be on the highway. That's a number of miles, and that's going to take us to Cody. Oh,
Llano, Colorado, or the crossover road heading from Highway 1 over to Valley T.
Is this the traditional crossover road, or is there anything different on this routing this year?
Traditional stays on the road the whole way, which is a very important thing to note for chase teams to not plan on the crossover road pre-running or definitely not on race day, obviously. But yeah, there's no way to use that crossover road, so don't plan on using it.
Yeah, so you're really going to need 2 crews. That means this race, you're going to need a coastal crew and an inland crew because you will not be able to get from here. Well, once you leave race mile 210 right here and get on the crossover road, you will not see that crew again until maybe Ojos. If they go all the way up to Ojos, would be the next time you'd see them.
yep. And remember, when you're on the crossover road, the Calentura road, whatever you want to call it, there's could possibly be local traffic because this is an access road for people that goes between these small towns, and of course, on the other side is by Trinidad, and hopefully no one's using it. But you guys just got to really be careful out there. Please, please, please be careful. That gets us back into Valle Trinidad. There are some services here, a couple small hotels, a couple PMEX stations, taco stand. That's
back up a little bit before you get into Trinidad. Back over to where you see it come off the road. Yeah, right there with that action. Back a little bit further.
Right?
Yeah, right there. So that's where we jump off of the crossover road.
Fun stuff.
And goes through that super. I think it's nasty. I don't know how it feels in a trophy truck, but it's not fun in a Raptor. I can tell you that. But it's pretty junky all the way back until we get back onto the main road into Trinidad. But there is that. Just wanted to point out that one section where it does jump off of the main road to go through that junky section back to where we go through Trinidad.
Don't miss the right.
At the grassy knoll, it goes off to the right.
The grassy knoll, Cody's knoll.
Why is it called Cody's Knoll?
Yeah, put it up there, Cody.
We're waiting, Cody. There it is. Oh, he's got the shot.
He's got to talk so he shows up.
That's a little bit better.
Can't move it down for some reason. I don't know. It was very pretty today.
That's Cody laying in a field full of flowers, which is awesome. That's Cody and I in the trophy truck behind him. Anyway, by Trinidad, you're going to get off the graded road, go through some really tricky, tough, tight stuff, get you back to another road, which will bring you into Valle Trinidad. What race mile are we at, Roto?
250.
250. All right. So we're kind of sort of semi, in a way, halfway. Getting on the highway. And if you think you've been having fun so far, the fun has just begun.
Yep. And then you're going to get off and you get to go up the super wide section right here. You can go full speed up this, right?
If you can hover or levitate, you could possibly go quick, but I would say be very, very careful on what's known as the goat trail. A special treat. to access back up here into the Hamu area. This is stuff we've been racing as of late. There's fast, there's slow, there's tricky, there's scary. So be aware. Let's talk about this right here. Roto or Nate, Fish is highlighting VCP 197. Looks like we're at Sportsman Cut.
Yeah, this is the Sportman cut, of course, are for all the Sportman's vehicles plus Class 11 plus 7 stock. And yeah, many people say that it's a long cut for those guys, but consider the difficulty of the summit going down and the Cordillera going up. Definitely, they deserve to use this one.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
someone does not want to take that, just to clarify, they don't have to, right? They can do the full course if they want to.
Well, no, all the Sportman not forced to do it, and of course, Class 11 and 7 stock. If from some reason Class 11 do the whole course, they punish themselves because of the time they will took them to do the whole lap.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. If they want to, they can. They're not going to get DQ'd if they go around the whole course.
They will, because they won't make it back in time.
Yeah.
But the other thing to point out too on this is that whole first half is super fast for the for the faster guys. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of gap, I think, between the sportsman classes and the rest of the classes. So it's going to give them a chance to be able to finish in time, better time. And the other thing I wanted to point out too, right there where that access road comes into the cattle guard VCP, just make a note that's not going to be an access road back to the to the red lines, to the main course. Don't plan on that for an access road all the way in to the red lines, because that is a race course for the sportsmen. So don't plan on using that with your chase crews to get into those areas.
Yeah, that would actually be a DQ right there because your chase crew would be going backwards on the race course.
Yeah, if they make that right there, but it's
Yeah.
not even a good idea to make the left. I mean, obviously, in an emergency, you could use that if you had to, if you're going the right direction, if you're going north there. But I wouldn't plan on that as a chase access.
Okay, good to know.
Hey,
Sure.
Fish, we
Yeah.
can go back a little bit. We skip checkpoint number 1 in Hamao. There is. Okay, just to remind for everybody, there's a full stop during race day, but also for bikes, if they don't make it on time before 1:48, they will ask you to go to the highway. So that's a safety feature in order to kind of not send all those guys towards Cordillera, Summit, and don't make difficult for bigger trucks like trophy trucks, because we experience if those guys they don't make it on time there, it will be super hard for them to accomplish the whole course.
Okay, so what time the bikes have to be past check 1 by what time, or they will not be allowed to continue?
1:48
1:48 p.m.
p.m. That's correct.
Okay, so 1:48 p.m. if you're on a bike or a quad and you are not past check 1, you will be turned off at check 1.
That's correct.
Okay. Good note. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah.
To be fair, if you're having a tough day to that point, the race course is only getting tougher, in my opinion, from here on out. So this next section, as you leave some of the traditional areas, this is a massively traditional kind of named spot. We're going to go to the summit. Says it right on it. Is Scotty Steinberger still here? Or did he check out?
He's gone. Yeah.
Okay. The summit. I think we all have our stories about it. It is, if you thought you were remote already, now you're definitely really remote.
Yeah, if you notice, there is no blue lines anywhere up here. So that means there is no access roads anywhere around here. There's no way to get up there except for the race course. So yeah, this is remote.
And when they talk about summit, you're side hilling, tons of rocks, tough and crappy. Then you get over the top and it's going to get maybe sketchy. For me, I think it's sketchy. There's some really some exposure, some side hill stuff, really, really creepy. So take your time.
It goes down pretty quick too, because if you look at the elevation in my marker right here, we're at 4,200 feet, basically 41, 45 right there. And then if you just look right here, a few miles later, you're already down to 2,000. So you're going down 2,000 feet within a couple miles here, basically.
It's pretty
Well,
serious.
I also want to point out too for pre-running, uh, when Roto and I did this, we probably saw what 4 or 5 trucks on this trail, Roto, between this one and the other summit.
Yeah, we saw a couple guys. One of them that was super lucky. He lost the four-wheel drive, so we of course helped him to move a little bit. And but yeah, definitely there's some action over there.
Yeah, just because you think you're so remote that there's nobody out there, especially on pre-run, definitely on pre-running, just understand there still could be local traffic.
For sure. And whatever time you allot yourself to go up through that summit, if you haven't been up there before, give yourself some extra time when you're pre-running. Still just as tricky as it ever was, right, Nate?
Yeah.
That's going to take you on to the other side. This is the desert side. There's kind of a coastal side, then a mountain range, then a desert side. First thing I want to say is beware, temperatures can be extreme. Be prepared, water, shade, time of day, consider what you're doing, consider time frames, consider when you're going to be there. Roto, you have special tips over here, special thoughts?
That's also why the bikes aren't allowed to come over here after 1 p.m., right, Roto?
Yes, yeah, that's why we decide to put the checkpoint back there. Yeah, the weather we expect that will be hot. We hope that gonna be that much, but of course they use the common sense as always. Plenty of water, plenty of food just in case you get stuck there. They will be kind of hard to get there. You still kind of go through Saldaña, but it still will be a long way. The course is going up all to a Cabuso and coming back. So there's a kind of little bit kind of short section. Of course, you need water not only for yourself, for your vehicle. Be aware to kind of take care of your rig because for the temperature always get hot the transmission, the engine. So take care both.
Nate, I got a question for you or Roto I don't see any access road marked on the northern side here. Is it possible to get in here? Because I know a lot of guys are going to want to send a remote pit up here in case they need a tire or something after coming over the summit. Is there some way to get in up top here for everybody?
You can go in the race course. It's going to be really, really bad. Like you're going to have like a really nice truck to be able to get in there, because there is race course that goes from Highway 5 over. But it's
To clarify, you mean traditional, what's
Yeah.
traditional race course?
Not
yeah,
this race
not current race, correct. Old race course.
Yeah, from over here,
So
basically, right?
super
That-
whooped out. Yeah.
That I think is that the dike that you got the thing on right there?
Yeah, that's the dike, and actually
Yeah.
the access could be Saldaña, kilometer 78 at Highway 5. And yeah, like Nate says, the old race course going to El Cabuso. The first half is not gonna be that rough, but the second half definitely super rough, not for every vehicle. We will send one of the rescue units in some of the pits companies like Baja Desert Pits and some others. They already offer help to bring water for everybody.
And well, it's good to hear, Roto.
And it is possible to come down from Highway 2 all the way down to Coabuzo. We didn't map that in there, but there is a very, very, very long access road that comes down from Highway 2. But we can plug that in there, but we try to put chase access in that we encourage people to use. I don't know if I'd use it.
So just to be clear, we think we're semi-Baja experts, and we weren't sure what we were looking at from Google Earth, whether it was a road or the dike canal. So just when you guys are doing your research, just make sure you understand what you're mapping, what you're looking at, talk to people and make sure you understand. So right now, Nate, you guys don't have a route going into there.
Yeah, we didn't encourage it because, like I said, you'd have to have a pretty nice, you'd have to have a pre-runner type truck to be able to get in there.
Copy.
And then in this section too, it looks like it's super close together. Right there at that one pinch point, it does. We had planned to keep it up further off of the wash, but it was a hill that was probably a showstopper for quite a few vehicles. So we did have to come down towards the wash a little bit, but that's why you see the VCPs in those areas. I'm just pointing it out now that when you're pre-running, just make sure you're staying on the course through those areas and that you don't get crossed over. But there is elevation. If you go up a little bit further, you see that the different in the shading. You are up on a cliff like 10, 15 feet. So there is a physical separation between you and the race course. In that area right there, if you go all the way to the end, you can see where you get up out
Yeah.
of the wash on top. So there is a physical barrier there. It's not running it's running close, but there is, a barrier there between you and the inbound or outbound race course.
Tricky section.
But it does come down to a pinch point down there, right there in that gully, just because there's a almost impossible hill to go up in order to stay further up.
Cody, thoughts or comments?
I think it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of stuff we ran in the past and some new stuff, but yeah, when I first saw it going up and over both summits, I was surprised and I was stoked. It's been a while since I've done both of them, so should be fun.
Let's talk about this summit, Rodo. What is the proper name of the summit? I know what we've been calling it, but is there a proper name for this one?
Yeah, this place is Cordillera de Molina. Actually, is the name of the ejido and the owners of the whole ejido. So yeah, it's pretty well known. The owners live in the ranch. They are in the top, Rancho Tres Pinos. And yeah, it's a tough uphill section. The first 10 miles, as we know, is nothing but volcanic rock. Will prove your tires and your patience. The second half gets a little bit more tricky and narrow section and a little bit of off camber. So in that section, definitely you're not gonna win the race. But if you get distracted, definitely you're gonna lose it. And the most important thing is keep focus, because if something happens, you will create a bottleneck.
Yeah, and this is actually taller than the other summit because the other summit was like 4,000 feet, and right where my cursor is here, this is 5,000 feet. So it's actually 1,000 feet higher than the summit.
Right. And they call one more time the rancho name.
On top of it is Rancho Los Pinos.
Yeah, that's we've been calling it the Los Pinos Summit, but obviously, what was it again? The name of the ejido, so we have the proper name.
Cordillera de Molina. Molina is the name, the last name of the owners, the
Okay.
original owners. So that's how they call it.
Okay, very cool. Good to know. Now that's going to bring you up. We're going to run. Is this section around this mountain that we ran?
I think we ran it last year
Yeah.
down the
Yeah, I
wash.
will run that in the last Baja 400. That was actually kind of new. And the wash, Las Palomas, we did it new in the 400. And actually, we're going south towards Las Vaquillas. That section, there was nothing but little agaves and yucca. The super twisty and technical section, where you have the SC3 -2. All that section right now is way smoother than it was on the 400.
Copy. So lots of back and forth, tricky stuff. You know, we've been racing in here off and on in different spots. Lots of different intersections, of course. Watch for spectators and people, and just mind yourself on all these the sections. And Fish, you were just highlighting that's where the sportsman rejoin is.
Yeah, it's basically like mile 362 or so, it looks like. So then you'll be I wonder if any sportsman cars may jump in front of any of the pro cars, depending on when they get here. What do you think, Nate?
I would be very surprised.
Okay.
maybe if some cars have some issues,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would be surprised.
Okay.
That's going to take you down into the back of these areas near Independencia. Is that what that is? Not
Yep.
Reforma. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Independencia.
Yeah.
There is traditional racing, some new different stuff. Looks like stuff mostly that we've run, Roto. Is that correct?
Kinda, if we're going towards Independencia, we're
Yeah.
going into a little section that is new. BCP was 316. It's a small section that is
Yeah.
new that leads us to Rancho La Vuelta, which is the north tip, and then just come around into the highway. So that's just a couple miles that are just new. You
All
will
that
interesting.
a little new stuff before you get into the the bumps and the back and forth.
Yeah,
No,
that's correct.
No, Nate?
well, you got the El Alamo Road before you get into all that stuff.
Copy.
So you're
Yeah, so
gonna
when you
test
get on
your
the highway, right?
high speed limits. Once you get off, once you end that speed zone, that road is just long and straight as fast as you can go.
There is a slight turn in it, then there's a little bit more turn. So heads up, everybody, pay attention to what your GIPS is telling your GPS. Watch for those turns. This is going to take you into old El Alamo, which was a old mining town. So this is dating back to the dates of the gold rush, and there's a number of towns here. One just above Ojos Negros called Rancho de Oro, which was really hot spots for mining back in the 1800s. And that gets us out back through these mountain sections. And now we're actually going to start coming back into the backside of Tres Hermanos Rodo.
Yeah, we go to El Alamo. We're going into the biggest hill, La Biznaga,
Yeah.
which is Cactus Barrel. Going down into the watch, that rocky watch, then hit Tres Hermanos, and then going north into the kind of little traditional section parallel to the graded road. That's BCP, what was 342. That's a kind of new section going in that direction. Definitely, we raced it like 3 years ago, but this time we use it to kind of put a little bit more mileage. And from there to Rancho El Mezcal is pretty much the same. But of course, we found a little bit of straight lines and a lot of silt approaching to Ojos.
Yeah, but to go back just a little bit from that, it was coming down off that hill. You technically have like 3 summits on this course because that other hill that you come down is actually technically a summit as well. I call it 3 summit race course.
This one right here.
No,
Back.
further back before Tres Hermanos, when you come to the end of the El Alamo Road. Back further,
Yeah.
Oh, up in here.
up in the hills.
400.
Yeah. Yeah, you're back over 3,000 feet again up in here.
Yeah.
4,000 feet right
Well,
here. Yeah.
a 3 summit race course. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. This looks like a UTV course to me. I bet there's a UTV finish in the top 5. Just saying.
We know who you work for, Fish.
I'm just saying. I would say that no matter what. That's a lot of tight technical.
The 500 can be a lot of work. We, Cody and I actually in our DA team, we finished in the top 5 overall last year, and it keeps you busy all day. And this one looks busy. The summits, so much stuff. Baja throws it all at you, and I think that, like I always say, you're not just racing against competitors. You're racing Baja. You have to get a good pass from Baja this day, and there's your end pre-run, taking you back into the backside of Ojos Negros. Man, I know it only took us an hour or so to go over it, but holy cow, there's so much there to digest. We can't even breathe. We can't even catch a glimpse of really what it is and what it takes to race this course. So if you're not super familiar, I mean, even if you're super familiar, take your time, pay attention, get good recon in. Nate, I got to ask you, what's your favorite part on the race course since you've seen it all already?
I always love the summits. I just love the views. I love the vegetation that's at the top of the summits. I always love the new sections that Score is able to find and get us on, especially when I'm following a single UTV track that Roto went out there and made sure it was actually passable before we would go down and actually map the whole race course. And it's like kind of feel like you're on uncharted territory. That's always fun. It's always a little bit disappointing the next time we use it after a race, just because of it's not so virgin anymore. Um, but it's just a great race course. I mean, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite Baja 500 race courses that I've ever been on. Just from the coast to the hills, the summits, the washes. It's just got a little bit of everything. The only thing I don't like about it is I never like racing on the crossover road. Always scares me. Not the race as much as the pre-running on the crossover road, because from the safety of local traffic and everything. But this course is, I mean, it's got everything. It's gonna take somebody. You're gonna have to be fast, but you're also gonna have to be smart. You're gonna have to know how to drive. It's a driver's course, and I think it's gonna separate the men from the boys or women from the girls.
And one note on the end right here, because we didn't talk about it. When you end your pre-run here, there is going to be obviously the file that comes out that has the finish on it later. The timed finish is going to end at Rancho Nelson. Is that correct, Rodor? Tell us how the finish is going to work, I guess.
Yeah, this finish will be similar as the last Baja 1000 last year. We continue en Ojos Negros, we go through Las Minitas and finish in Rancho Nelson. There we will have our timing crew. There will be the timing trailer. As soon as you finish, you start heading to the highway in kilometer 19. And from there all the way to Ensenada, you will be in a speed zone. The speeds will be 37 miles per hour. Of course, we know that could be a little bit boring, but is the turns are super tight. That section even is slow even for the local traffic. But the main reason is safety. I mean, we always think in safety for our competitors and for the locals. And of
Just
course,
yeah,
but I mean,
just
the finish line, official finish line is still here, the ramp in Fernando Riviera. So no matter what, you need to finish here. Don't deviate to get some tacos, some beer, whatever. Continue on the course all the way to the finish line.
That's what I was going to ask. If someone is able to make it across the time finish and they're barely limping their car or something, are they allowed to put it on a trailer, or are they allowed to get towed back to the ramp? How does that work from the time finish to the ramp?
Okay, like I said, the official finish is here on the Riviera and the ramp. So your time is finished right there on Rancho Nelson, but the race finish here at the ramp. So the finish line is here.
Okay. So no, not allowed to put it on a trailer. You have to make it to the actual finish in town.
Not at all.
Perfect. I always have somebody
Yeah.
asks, or someone is almost broken and they want to know if they can put it on a trailer. So just wanted to clarify the actual finish. You have to get all the way there.
Yeah, and the other thing to remember too is it's a 37-mile-an-hour speed zone. You're not on time though, so your timing's already finished. You can't go over 37, but you don't have to sit there and try to go 37 if it's not possible. Stop for the stoplights, stop for traffic that's slow. You don't have to try to go 37, but you can't go over 37.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good data, Nate. Love it.
Perfect.
Let me ask you this, Fish. Do you have any questions coming in that we have not already covered? Because I know you were texting me about questions, but then we already covered a bunch of them. Do you have anything that we missed?
No, I think we covered it pretty good. Somebody just said they're asking about the crossover road. We answered that. Yeah, there's nothing that we didn't answer, honestly, which is good. That means we maybe did an okay job or nobody was watching, one of the two.
Well, okay job. I mean, like I said, it's all opinion based and it can only be as good as the people hosting it.
Yeah, I do gotta say we're not gonna do these 6 o'clock ones anymore though, because some of you guys are half asleep. So we're going back to the noon shows from now on because I think you guys had too much to eat or something and the melatonin's kicking in.
I haven't had dinner, so I'm
Well,
good.
and just to be clear, Cameron, opinion based for every one of us except for Roto, because whatever Roto says is official.
Okay, gotcha. So Roto's the
Yeah.
boss.
Roto's the
Roto,
boss.
it's a fun course you guys put together. Are you pretty happy with the overall? It seems like everybody's really stoked.
Yeah, we're really happy. There's a lot of things that are kind of new, especially in Punta Colonet, which is, you don't ask, but definitely that will be my favorite section of the whole course because that's something new. You are above the sea level. You can see the whole peninsula, well, kind of the pitch of the peninsula, and I really love it. The going into the crossover is definitely something that you need to do carefully, but it's still fun. Most of the race course is graded. That's something that the deal we had with the Hidos and that landowners after we finish season, we grade most of the roads. So most of the roads are in pretty good condition. So that's also new and good. And the north desert section, I think even it's hard, everybody will love it.
Copy that. Where's your picture in your background from?
That's a summit.
Yeah, baby. It's pretty glorious up there, you guys. You can see the Sea of Cortez way out in the distance, and just yeah, it's pretty shocking. Just let's clarify one more time. I already got one text message about it. Coming in after you go through the timed finish, Roto, at Rancho Nelson, you have to stay on the entire course all the way to the finish line. And does that include the wash?
No. Well, yes, half of it. You need to follow the course always.
Okay,
But from Rancho Nelson to finish line will be on highway.
it will.
Yeah,
Oh,
that course that we just had on there was the outbound course. That was
Yeah,
not
okay.
the inbound course. There will be a new GPS coming out with the inbound course closer to the race.
that's
Okay.
correct. And yeah,
Okay.
and
That's why
there
I've
will
got
be
a couple. I got a couple questions already about it.
Yeah,
an-
yeah, that was outbound only.
Okay,
also
so from
remind
Rancho Nelson, one more time for everybody, including me.
yeah, that will be Rancho Nelson. And after you finish in Rancho Nelson, they will check your wristband. And then you hit the 37 miles per hour speed zone from there all the way to Ensenada, following nothing but the highway and the boulevard at the end. Another thing, since it's a speed zone, your time is already finished. But if you go above 37 miles per hour, you still get penalized.
Yeah, your
Okay.
Stella is staying on the car until the actual finish, basically.
Yeah, that's a safety feature because we don't want any kind of surprise in this section. We seen some action with other organization, and I mean we learn always from our past races, but actually we can look around what happened in the off-road industry. So the main thing is keep safety in our races.
Yeah.
For sure. Safety first. The number one job of going racing is to come home safely for everybody, which we will all pray for that. Then, of course, fun. Winning, whatever. If you get there, great. But let's just get to the finish line and get home safe. That's always the number one job, right, Fish?
Yep, exactly. Everybody, it's no good if somebody doesn't come home.
For sure. So again, take the opinions with a grain of salt, get it figured out, look at the maps. One thing I will say, Roto, you guys do a great job of putting out a bunch of information. The racer bulletin is something important for everybody to read.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of documentation that we provide in the SCORE website. Of course, the first one that you need to kind of look is the schedule. You will see the time that you need to register, the time the GPS will be released, the time the map will be released, which was last Monday. The course opening will be next Saturday. Next Thursday, the GPS will be released. So this is important document. And actually, for race, there are two different documents: the race briefing itself and the race info. They are two separated, and the last 2 years we change it. That way we have more information. Of course, we have the compilation of the speed zone, BCPs, all the rules that is good to remember for everybody that's been racing for years with us, and especially for the new ones. I mean, all the information is there, but of course, for those guys that are kind of new with us, they need to not read the rule, need to read the rules, especially for the vehicle and the general rules. Right now, we are kind of checking some stuff that are already in the rules where we're not enforcing. That's something that can see and catching, and and it's so concerned about safety. We've seen some videos that guys are coming into their pits. They're having driving change, and they're still on moving, and they're pulling out the seal belts. So the seal belts need to be removed once they are fully stopped. If we receive some videos, definitely will be put some time on those.
Good to know. Safety first, as we talk about, dress for what could happen, and keep your safety gear on. Nate, any closing thoughts from you before you go to sleep?
If you haven't started hydrating yet, you should start now. Baja 500's historically hot. Obviously, you see the summits, you go down into that wash, it's going to be hot. Don't wait until race week to start hydrating. Start now. Take care of yourself. And yeah, and that goes with chase crews too. That's not just people in race cars. And yeah, other than that, I would say enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's a super awesome course. Like I said, one of my favorites, and looking forward to being down there and seeing how you donkeys plus do down there.
Oh, I like that. Cody, any closing thoughts since he just mentioned you? He said donkey right there.
I thought he was talking to you, but you know, no, it's this is for sure the definition of a Baja race. It's got the beach, it's got mountains, it's got sand washes and everything. So 140-mile-an-hour zones to 10-mile-an-hour zones. So, but yeah, definitely the second half is going to be really hot. So plan accordingly, have water, food, all that stuff with you. And even chase crews, be safe on the highways. That can be the most dangerous place, even more dangerous than the race course sometimes. So chase crews, be careful. If you don't make it to a pit, it's better not to make it to the pit than not make it home. So just be careful out there.
Look at you with your safety tips. I love it, Cody. You gotten so experienced after all these years, 20 years of hanging around with my dumb ass. Fish, I think that's going to be a wrap pretty much. Roto gave us a bunch of good info. Nate's in the house. Cody just threw it down. What do you got for me? What do you got for us?
I think that's it. Everybody covered everything. You guys be safe, especially when you're pre-running, like everybody already said. Pre-running is when most of the accidents happen. So just be safe. People aren't expecting you to be out there. Drink a lot. It's going to be a hot one. I think it looks like a super fun course. You guys did a great job laying it out. I'll score Nate and everyone that is involved. Jose G, I know he couldn't make it on here. He had to go out, and I think someone was broken actually on the summit, is what he said. And he had to go rescue somebody. So just shows you already we have issues going on there. So be smart. I would have some lines marked around some pinch points that you might think some trophy truck spec rental donkeys might be getting stuck at, but it's all part of the fun, right? And don't let a trophy truck spec beat you again, Cameron. You got a trophy truck. You gotta beat those guys.
Copy. Last year, 4th overall, baby.
There you go. Perfect. Do it
All
again.
good. Yep, all good. We're having fun doing it, and we're looking forward to it. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember, be smart, be safe, do your own research. If you have questions, feel free to message Fishgistics. Score can answer a lot of your questions. If you're a BFG team, feel free to reach out to them. But don't be afraid to ask the questions. There are no stupid questions, and we're here as much as we can to get you clarity. But again, there's so much going on, it's hard to nail every single aspect. So just do a little bit more research and make sure you're on point when you get to Baja. Thank you for watching this episode of Fishgistics. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Roto. Thank you, Cody. Of course, thank you to Scott Steinberger, who was here with us earlier, and Fish. Always thank you to you, buddy, for being the backbone and bringing so much goodness to this industry, so much information, your updates, and everything you do. I'm stoked to be a part of the Fishgistics team.
Right on. Yeah. Thanks for always coming on, and we'll be doing our hourly updates like we always do. So we'll see you guys on race day.
Sounds good. And if you don't have anything to do next Tuesday, tune in to ESPN2 at 7 p.m. for some fun off-roading.
There you go. You can watch Cameron be a donkey on TV.
Donkey. All right, guys. Have
See
a
you
great
guys.
day.